The recorded session will be shared with all registrants later this week. Today's presenter is Sarah Powell, CAS Manager for Pension Dynamics. Sarah Powell has been working in employee benefits for over 15 years, focusing on COBRA, flexible spending accounts, and health reimbursement arrangements. As the manager for this department at Pension Dynamics Company, she has become an expert at dealing with the compliance aspects of these plans, which seems to be ever-changing with healthcare reform. At this time, I'll turn it over to Sarah.
Thank you for attending us today. As Kelly said, we're here to talk about leveraging tax advantage benefit accounts to drive cost savings. And today, with ever-changing healthcare reform, it's becoming more and more important that employers and employees look at these items in order to save as much as possible. As you know, Pension Dynamics has been in the industry since 1979. We work with employees and their brokers in many cases in order to build the benefit plans for you and your participants, your employees. Alongside the retirement plans that we offer many tax advantage benefit accounts, such as flexible spending accounts, health reimbursement accounts, including new wellness reimbursement accounts that we've recently started to offer, commuter plans, and although I won't talk much about it, COBRA administration. Now, would you want to choose Pension Dynamics? Well, as I just said, we work with our clients to make sure that the plan that we set up is right for you and your employees. We want to know what it is that you want to offer your employees, what type of premium you're currently paying compared to what your usage is, so that we can help define a plan design, for you and your employees. We work with you, ask you the questions. Are you interested in, say, a grace period or a carryover? Do you have high usage in certain areas? So that we can determine what we think would work best for you. We are highly regarded for our compliance. So we make sure that, obviously, with healthcare reform, things are changing every day. We want to make sure that all of the plans that we administer stay compliant. So we'll constantly be in touch with you, letting you know of changes, making sure that the plans that we administer will stay within the changing regulations. And I actually find most important, one of the top reasons that I feel Pension Dynamics is strong in these reasons is our education. We go out to your offices, do one-on-one meetings. We will do open enrollment meetings. We have videos on our website, and we have a lot of different options available to get education to both our employers and our employees. And education is key in making sure that employees understand what benefit it is that you're offering and why you're offering it, so that they can see what savings they could also receive from the plans. You're just putting them in place to get you guys a tax savings, cost savings, but they're also a great way for individuals to get a tax savings as well. Healthcare reform, and even before healthcare reform, the cost of healthcare was continuing to go up over and over, year after year. Premiums have been outpaced every year wages have been outpaced every year by premiums since 1998, and that does not show any kind of slowdown in that type of growth. So employers have had to get strategic, have had to look at different ways to offset those additional premium costs. Many times we're seeing, at one point, employers paid 100% of premiums for employees and sometimes their dependents even. And, slowly we've had to go away from that. Since 2004, 31% growth has been seen in that area alone. And it's only going to continue to grow. another that employers have tried to ease this continuing cost growth is reducing retiree medical benefits or shifting to high deductible health plans, those we call HDHPs in our industry. Those things are great for the employer, and they're great for sometimes can be good for the employee. They, though, needs to be educated, as I said, on how they're good for them. And sometimes what we asked, especially if you're changing the cost shifting more to high deductible health plan, maybe put in an HRA, a health reimbursement plan alongside of it that covers some of those employee out-of-pocket expenses and still save the employer dollars. Each of the premiums that because of the premium savings, I should say, you're able to put some money into the health reimbursement account and still save money. And we can show that through past experience that we've had with our employers and with Pension Dynamics' own plan. And so the marketplace is starting to shift, the industry is starting to shift and put more onto the consumer's plate, wanting them to become, of a better term, more of a consumer and rather than just a user. Let them be a buyer into the marketplace. Let them have more options so that they can shop around a little bit, see where the best place is to get that prescription, because it may be cheaper at one location rather than the other. And if you have a bit more risk in the game, they're more willing to shop around rather than using one location. What I'm getting at with this next slide, we're shifting how we're looking at things in the marketplace. Employees are wanting to put more onto the employees so that they can shift around and shop around. We used to have very traditional HMO plans, and you were told to always go to your PPO provider, your HMO provider. You had one provider that you could go to, and he would refer you out to other providers. And you were very limited in the choices that you can have. One of the shifts that we're seeing, again, to that high deductible health plan opens up so that you're not stuck with one provider. Now you have a bigger option of the providers you want to go to, and maybe provider A charges less than provider B, but you get the same type of service. That, do you want to try to provide A that you can save some money, your employer saves some money, or do you want to stick with provider B? Give you options. We've said it's been rising significantly. This slide here shows that employee contributions in 2016 for just the employee were approximately $6,700. If you have a premium-only reimbursement plan, premium-only plan, which is a flexible part of the flexible spending account, to cover the insurance premiums, you can save, depending upon their tax bracket, up to 35% of the dollar that they run through that plan. And that's a significant amount of savings. The employer contribution in 2016 was close to $15,000 per employee. So if you reduce your tax liability on all of that $1,500 for each employee that you offered, that could be a significant savings for employees as well. Now, to a high deductible health insurance premium, which could be probably a significant lower premium than a traditional plan, you could also have additional savings there. Then you put in a health reimbursement account, or a health flexible spending account, I should say, health FSA. That's paying $4,316 in out-of-pocket expenses for their medical costs, could put $2,600 aside additionally to help pay for those out-of-pocket expenses, and they save an additional up to 5% depending upon their tax bracket as well. So you're getting an additional savings for the employee by adding the Health FSA plan. He shows 5 different options that are to employers, I should say, offset some of these costs to the employee. There's savings accounts, health spending accounts, health reimbursement accounts, commuter plans, and dependent daycare. And each one of these further in the what is the value of a tax benefit account, though? Tax accounts allow you as the employer to control health plan costs. As your premiums are getting too much on the traditional PPO and HMO plans that you're currently offering, you may want to be interested in looking at the high deductible plans that are out there. Those deductible plans can save you premiums, and if you put in the Section 25 premium tax savings advantage, you're saving additional money on the premiums that you're paying. These plans offer tax savings to your employees then for the Health FSA because they can put aside additional money to offset their taxes and tax liability. Expanding your benefit options possibly. Maybe you still want to offer the traditional HMO and PPO plan for those employees that think that those are the better plans, but you offer as well the high deductible health plan with an HRA. You can the Health FSA, dependent daycare FSA, and you continue to add on additional extra options for more benefits for your employees. And it's that you offer, you're going to get more choice. So they feel, they want to be a commuter and take advantage of the pre-tax commuting benefits that you're now offering. It will help them save their money. That's healthcare dollars they're spending, but offers them the opportunity to elect the benefit that works best for them. What is a spending account? Flexible spending account, or FSA, is a tax-free way for you to put aside money for medical, dental, or vision expenses. And it can cover up to 35% of your taxes, depending upon your tax bracket. It covers most out-of-pocket medical, dental, vision expenses, your lab work, your prescriptions, your doctor's visits, root canals. It does not cover things that are cosmetic in nature, and it covers general toiletries. So it's going to cover your toothbrush. It's not going to cover the whitening strips, which we get a lot of, teeth bleaching. There's no medical reason for you to have whiter teeth, so the IRS does not allow that under the plan. But there's a large number of things that it does cover. Therapy, chiropractic coverage, acupuncture. Even if your medical insurance does not cover these items, the expense can run under the Health FSA expense. So again, even though the way that these plans can be a great option for your employees is they expand where insurance can be offering and give them a wider way to get things covered that are not necessarily covered under their insurance. Although we do offer health HSAs here, health spending accounts, we recommend if you have a health savings account that you put in place a limited purpose FSA if you've already done so. The Health FSA is not compatible with an HSA because the HSA is there to help cover your medical expenses. But as an employer, you allow participants to elect the limited purpose FSA, which covers dental and vision expenses, so that participants can actually maximize their retirement and tax savings on step. They can maximize what they contribute to the HSA to the maximum there, and they can maximize $2,600 in limited purpose FSA to help pay for their vision and dental expenses. maybe don't have any medical expenses, the HSA they can leave that rolls over from year to year and have that for retirement. The DONCHA expenses for their children or other vision expenses for them and their children can then use the limited purpose FSA, and now they're able to put aside more money on a tax-free advantage, being to reduce their tax liability even further than they could with just the HSA alone. There's a dependent daycare account. Again, it does not save healthcare dollars per se, but it is a tax savings vehicle for your employees if their children up to the age of 13 and they and their spouse, if they're married, are working. They can put aside up to $5,000 on a pre-tax basis to help pay for their out-of-pocket daycare expenses. That includes daycare, your day camps, in the summer, not overnight camps, unfortunately. It covers up to school, through preschool, I should say. It does not cover kindergarten or tuition for your elementary type schooling. It's after school care, before school care, or if children are not in school age yet, it would cover daycare for you and your spouse if you are married, as I said, to work. $5 is the family maximum that you can put aside. There is no grace period or there is a grace period, but there is no carryover with this plan. So you make sure that the employees know they need to use the money within that plan year. $1,000 savings at 35% is a significant way that your employees can put aside money and not have to pay as much to the government every year, which every employee is looking for. Tax advantage plan that Pension Dynamics offers is a reimbursement account. A health reimbursement account is similar to a flexible spending account. How the flexible spending account is normally employee dollars. Employee is deciding how much they want to put aside, up to $2,600. FSA normally covers, usually the FSA is very standard, covers every eligible expense that the IRS allows. The reimbursement account, an employer is more able to customize. Normally it covers anybody enrolled in, say, a certain insurance plan. That deductible health plan that you're going to change over to maybe next year, you could say anybody that enrolls in the high deductible health plan, we're going to put so much money into the reimbursement account, the HRA, for the next plan year, and then you can even say it's going to cover 100% of your out-of-pocket deductible. Or you want to say, you know what, we'll cover 50% of the deductible. We want the employee to pay 50% of charge that comes in. It can be structured however you would like, with regulations of the IRS, of course, but that's what we're here to make sure that you stay compliant. Some plans we have cover prescriptions. Others that we have for HRAs actually cover the opposite. They cover everything at Kaiser minus the prescriptions. It's very customizable. And to pair with the high deductible health plan. Groups do go with the health savings account, but the HRA is a little more employer-friendly than the HSA. In the HSA, and once you put money into the HSA, if you're going to do an employer contribution into it, you have no more say over that money. The employee can use it for whatever they would like, including going on vacation or purchasing TV, something from their home. They pay a tax penalty for taking a non-medical disbursement from the HSA, but they would be able to do that. With the HRA, as an employer, you wanted to put money into the HRA, which an HRA is employer-funded only, but it wanted to say give employees $1,000 each year that they use to help pay for their out-of-pocket medical expenses. You could do that, and they would only able to use that for the medical expenses that were covered under their plan, under the insured plan, or the expenses that you said were allowable. And you could say up to 100%, you say 50%. You would allow a carryover on an HRA if you think, and again, is customizable. You could 100% of all funds that you'd use this year will carry over into the next year, so that maybe this year you didn't use anything, but next year you're going to have a larger service, you carry over. So next, instead of only having $1,000, maybe they'll have $2,000. You could also say you're going to allow a carryover, but it's not 100% of the funds that are available at the end of the year. We're going to carry over 50% of the funds. And we're going to carry over a cap. We're going to cap the carryover and say we'll carry over 50% of the funds, but only up to $500 or something like that. It's up to you, and the HRA is very customizable. That's what we're here to help, is set up what would work best for you and your employees and help save you the most. Now, not necessarily to save healthcare cost, but it is to give you tax savings and employee tax savings, is the commuter benefit. Their transit and parking plan both allow up to $255 each per month. The monthly benefits, are the ones that we just spoke of, which are annual benefits, this employee can get into and out of on a monthly basis. So maybe 1 month they want to take public transportation, and they do it for a couple of months. They elect the benefit. It works great for them. Then their life changes, and now they have to drop their child off at daycare further line away from public transportation, so they're no longer able to. They can get out of this plan and mid-year not to offer, continue any longer. Same type of pre-tax savings that you see on the other benefits, but it covers those commuting, transit, parking expenses. The employees need to know ahead of time what their transit or parking expenses are so that they can elect the correct benefit and the correct amount. But we are, again, here to educate and help your employees know how they want to use the plan, what's best for them. Also, should let you know, in the Bay Area, there's a requirement for the commuter plans. All employers with over 50 employees in 11 counties in the Bay Area are required to offer some type of commuter benefit, and the benefits that we offer would be compliant with those regulations. Now, mentioning COBRA, and I'd be honest, it's tax savings for anybody. We know that, the people that are on this call. But it is why I want to mention it is it is the ability to have participants or employees who are no longer employees or no longer able to participate in the plan because they're no longer eligible for benefits, to continue the plan that they had at the time that they were eligible and employed. Bringing it up is that most employers, or many employers, do not realize that this also covers health FSAs, including limited FSAs, and most HRAs. So if you offer a health FSA or limited health FSA or an HRA, and you currently do not offer COBRA for those plans to your participants when they lose benefits, you may reach out to us and contact us and make sure that you are doing the correct thing. There are many TPAs that, unless you tell them that you want to offer health FSA, they're not going to mention that it is a requirement, and it is the employer's responsibility to make sure that you are doing the proper things. So just want to make sure that everybody on the call is aware that health FSAs, limited health FSAs, and most HRAs are required COBRA. So it is sometimes good to have your FSA, HRA, and COBRA all done with the same third-party administrator so that you know that they are all being worked together and offered properly. Health FSAs and health FSAs only need to be offered in certain situations if person has a positive balance at the time of termination. So actually already overspent their account. They no longer have a COBRA requirement, a COBRA right. So it would have to be told that why being offered COBRA. And that's another reason that it's good to have the Health FSA be your COBRA TPA. The person at the time of separation can see, did John Smith have an FSA? If he did, was it positive, was it not? What do you need to do in order to offer COBRA? If COBRA is being administered by someone other than your FSA administrator, you will want to make sure that the two communicating with each other at the time of transitions for your employees so that you are not off COBRA for these benefits. Pensions, top-notch customer service. We're very high touch in our service. As I said before, we'll send emails anytime there's compliance changes. We will send emails throughout open enrollment to remind your participants about the enrollment process. We'll send emails throughout the year to your participants to remind them that they even have the benefit and how to use the benefit. And he reaches out to us, we will contact them normally within a matter of hours, but a day to any questions that employees have. Online access 24/7 through our mobile app and our website. The mobile app has a lot of features that we'll talk about in just a moment, and to streamline things for our clients as much as possible. So multiple benefits for us. Say you're currently a retirement client and you're thinking, the flexible spending account sounds like great to me, and you're wondering how many more reports you'll have to send us. We actually will ask that you include that information on the same retirement file that you are currently sending, and upload us still just one file with all of your benefits on it, so that really does not change how you need to send to us. It's all streamlined in one report. As I said, we're high compliance standards, so we'll be on top of what changes are being out there under healthcare reform, and we will make sure that you're aware of them. We make sure that employees are aware of all compliance aspects, such as Form 5500 filings, PIC filings, all of these things that the IRS has put in place with healthcare reform and prior that are required under the plans. When they're due, you will know so that you do not miss a step. So have a debit card available to them. So if you want for the FSA, the HRA, the commuter benefit, daycare, we have a debit card that we can provide to your participants to make it more convenient for them. Participants will still need to submit receipts to us. It's a co-payment situation. Everything happens real time. If they use the card today, they are immediately going to be able to go onto their account and see that the card swipe happened. If had a transaction happen with a carrier and they have a question about it, within a moment or two, we even have the information in our system. If they call us, we're going to see it right away, and we're going to be able to help them with real-time assistance. There's no delay, as has been in the past with many of these debit card offerings. So one card for all plans. So we have both the commuter and the Health FSA. If you're at a transit location, we're going to know that it's a transit location, and your transit balance is going to be reduced. If you're at a doctor's office, we're going to know you're at a doctor's office, and that transaction will reduce the Health FSA. With the use, every participant will receive an email every time they use the card, telling us that we do need substantiation or not. We have access and a mobile application. The portal is obviously available 24/7, as is the mobile application. An application you can do, basically that you can do on the web. Your balance information, you can see all of your transaction history, claims that were submitted. If you as an employer want to offer, we can do online enrollment through the website. Employees can submit their claims through the website. There's videos on the website for educational materials. There's calculators available to help determine how much people should participate in the plan. There are just many things available on the website and the mobile application. Also, mobile app, there's voice activated. We have Ask Emma, and it works wonderful. When you're on our mobile app, in the upper right-hand corner, there's a little menu bar. You click on that. Then Ask Emma. The very top thing is Ask Emma. Click on that. Now you can use your voice-activated phone. You can set your balance and month FSA count, and Emma is going to answer and tell you verbally what your balance is. You can answer other questions as well, such as do you need receipts, where can you use your card. There's all kinds of things. So if where to find it on the website, you can actually speak to Emma, and she can hopefully answer your questions. So even if not available, hopefully Emma is. If you're learning more about Tax Advantage Solutions, you can contact Pension Dynamics. Our contact information is on this slide, and we'll be reaching out to you following this with some information and a survey a follow-up of the link of this webinar. So very much for attending. I appreciate your time.
Thank you, Sarah. A reminder, if you have any questions, please go ahead and take a moment and type them into the question box located in the lower right corner of your screen. And it looks like we do have a few questions that have been submitted. This one is, if someone enrolls in multiple plans, such as FSA, dependent daycare, and transit, do they receive different debit cards for each benefit?
Thank you for providing that. They will not get multiple cards. They will have one card that will work at every location that's available to them. So if enrolled in the Health FSA, a healthcare vendor will be opened up and available on their card. If enrolled in the dependent daycare card, merchants have dependent daycare as their MasterCard kind of code that's available on their machine will be available. And the card is smart enough to know that that code is, each code basically is tied to one type of an account, and it will reduce that type of benefit.
Thank you. And the next question is, why would someone want to enroll in a limited FSA if they can use their HSA funds to cover those same expenses?
And so the HSA plan is a great tax savings vehicle, and we recommend, trying to save those funds as much as possible. So you know that you have dental expenses, you're going to need a root canal, or your children are in orthodontia. You can hide money in both the HSA and the FSA, the limited FSA. The limited FSA, you would do all the orthodontia, the vision expenses, that root canal expense, and you can do both the maximum to the HSA and the maximum, or however much you need, into the limited FSA, and now you've gotten a higher tax savings for that year than you would have if you only did the HSA. And now the HSA funds can stay in the HSA account, can continue to grow, can be invested, and you can use that later on in future years when you need it for medical, or even further on in retirement.
you. And the next question is, could we offer an HRA plan that covers 50% of all items applied to the deductible instead of saying it will cover everything up to a set amount for the year?
Actually, many of our HRA plans, are set up that way. We have employers who set them up exactly for 50-50 split. We also had some who have said, you know, our co-payments are going up from $15 to $35, and rather we'd like to pay the difference. Employees still pay $15 only. And so we do that. So the employee is responsible for the first $15, and the plan is going to reimburse the next $20 in that situation. We can set up HRAs in many, many different ways.
Thank you. It looks like all questions have been answered at this point in time. So I would like to go ahead and take this opportunity to thank everyone for attending. And as a reminder, you will receive the presentation and a recording of today's session later this week. At this time, we conclude the webinar.